Crawford, I've seen more because I worked on HBO. Spence is more of a pressure fighter. So the two together, in my opinion, Crawford will be a better fighter early, but Spence is also going to be a good fighter late.
What's good, everybody? What's good? It's your boy, Cardinal Bud Crawford, or E.S. Red, if that's what you want to call me. And we are back for another one. Alright, y'all, we got a new topic. Roy Jones says Errol Spence gives Terence Crawford problems later in the fight. Alright, y'all, so Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence Jr. What happens later in the fight? Who tires out first? Who catches who with a good shot? Why does Roy Jones Jr. feel like Errol Spence can capitalize on Terence Crawford's mistakes later within the fight? I think once again it comes back to experience. Who has more experience in the welterweight division? And obviously that's Errol Spence Jr. Errol Spence Jr. has faced 3 champions, beaten 3 champions, has never ducked, except for Pacquiao, hasn't ducked any quality, credible competition at 147. And I feel like that experience will carry him through the entire fight. And I also feel like Terence Crawford will end up tiring himself out. I think since Errol Spence has been through so many wars in the welterweight division, he's fought 3 champions. Those had to have been good fights, decent fights, championship quality fights. So he's had the experience when it comes to going later within a championship 147 fight. He's had the experience of being in front of the biggest crowds that you can put together. It don't get no bigger than Cowboy Stadium. Almost 100,000 people, I think, that they put in that stadium. And he has the bigger body type. He has the harder punches. Terence Crawford's really not a breakdown fighter. Nobody can say that he does body shots super well. And we know body shots take away stamina. Body shots kill the stamina. And if Errol Spence is landing at least just 1 or 2 good body shots during the first 5 to 6 rounds, you can pretty much say that Terence Crawford's going to tire out later in the fight. He is the smaller of the 2 guys, the more speedier of the 2 guys, but that doesn't always equate back to success later within the fight. What can Terence Crawford hang his hat on to give him success later on within the fight? It would be not engaging. I think it's going to be not engaging with Errol Spence Jr. Not falling for his traps, not falling for chasing him around the ring, not falling for using unnecessary energy early on during the fight, because if it's one thing that Terence Crawford is going to have to do a lot of, is moving around Spence's power. I know a lot of people don't feel that way. Terence Crawford's bulking up. He's looking a lot bigger, a lot stronger. How does he carry that weight, though? He's never been this big and actually had to fight somebody that size. So how does he carry that weight? Does the weight help him? Does it hurt him? Does it slow him down earlier or later in the fight? Does it give him more power earlier or later in the fight? Can he absorb a lot more of those Spence punches because he has the extra weight on him and the extra size, the extra muscle? These are all unknown factors, and you hate to go into a fight of this caliber with so much on the line trying new things. This is why I'm steadily going against Terence Crawford, is because Errol Spence is not going into this trying anything new. He's already been up against the best welterweight you can put in front of him. He's already been up against championship fighters. He's of different calibers, different speeds, different techniques, different stamina, different power. He's already been in front of the biggest crowd that you can put in front of him. I mean, he's not going into this thing with any unknowns or ifs, maybes. He's going into this thing knowing what a champion has to do to be successful. Terence Crawford is going into this thing completely blind to the logistical standpoints of winning a championship fight. And I think that's going to be his downfall at the end of the day. That is definitely going to be what loses him the fight. Trying new stuff and trying it at the wrong times. These are things he should have been trying when he was fighting Sean Porter. These are things he should have been trying when he was fighting Kell Brook. because those were not championship fights. When he was fighting Amir Khan, when he, you know, the Jeff Horn was a championship fight, so it would have been kind of dangerous for him to try something new during a championship fight. But hey, people are people are foolish sometimes with this sports, and they, especially when you have a come up like Terence Crawford had. Terence Crawford had a very easy road dealing with Bob Arum. He was one of the highest paid boxers in the welterweight division dealing with Bob Arum. He didn't face the highest level of competition dealing with Bob Arum. Now, could you blame that on Arum? You can blame it on Arum, or you can blame it on Crawford. You can say that Crawford should have known better. Not facing stiff competition could hurt you later on in your career. That, you know, not challenging yourself, allowing Bob Arum to put you in certain matchups that really don't challenge you in your career, just don't challenge you, period, or could be a detriment to you later on, because you're going to need that experience, that challenge. You're going to need to draw on that at some point. And if you've never had those experiences, how can you draw on those experiences when you need them? You really can't. It's going to end up in a situation where you're going to get put in a specific position, and that you would have had the experience had you faced some better competition of how to get out of that position, and you're not going to know what to do when you get put in that position because you've never been placed in that position before. This is where experience trumps all. You know, you need those 60 or 70 plus games to get you prepared for the NBA finals and the NBA playoffs. You need all those games in the NFL to prepare you for the playoffs and the Super Bowl. This goes for every sport, you know, and it doesn't matter what sport you're in. Maybe not best competition, but high level competition fights to prepare you for championship fights. And I just don't feel like Terence Crawford possesses that caliber of or that mentality, because he's never been put through the grinder. He's never been put through the grind. He's never been faced up with higher level competition than himself. If Jeff Horn is the best name on your resume because Jeff Horn, on your welterweight resume, because Jeff Horn was a champion, that's definitely something wrong with that. I know he's faced two other champions, and that being Kell Brook and Sean Porter, but they were not active champions at the time. They were not holding title belts, so you weren't facing the best versions of those guys when you fought them. What do you draw off of when you need to draw on something, when Errol Spence has you in a compromising position and is ready to end the fight? I think Bud folds up. Let me know what y'all think down in the comment section below. Hit that like button for me. Share, subscribe. Tell a friend. Holler at me on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. But you're more than likely to get a response on the tube. So holler at me over there if you want a response. It's your boy, Cardinal Bud Crawford, or E.S. Red, if that's what you want to call me. And we are out of here.
These niggas be triple, be breaking the law. I'ma keep it funky with these niggas.